Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Future Stars live on Hidayat TV. To remind you, we're talking about the death of Bibi Fatima, Salaam Allah. So before the break, Hussein read something which talked either in some detail about how Prophet Muhammad got this estate of Fadak and how Bibi Fatima inherited it. And after that bit Hussein read, after the Prophet's death, the government took this off Bibi Fatima, Salaam Allah, and now she has just gone to court in the court of Abu Bakr. She has gone to this court to try to testify against this matter, to take away this estate of Fadak from her, and it was Abu Bakr's decision,
his orders to take it away.
His order to take it away, and it is his court as well. So it's kind of like in an unfair position for Bibi Fatima, isn't it? So Hussein's got the next thing. So could we start Hussein off with the loud salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. Hazrat Fatima first complained that Fadak was her property, which the Prophet had given to her as a gift during his lifetime. Abu Bakr asked her to produce a witness to support her claim. When she produced her witness, he rejected them. Her witnesses were Imam Ali, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, and Ummi Aman. Abu Bakr rejected Imam Ali because he was her husband and refused to accept Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein because they were too young. He refused Ummu Aman as a witness because she was a woman. When all witnesses were not accepted, Hazrat Fatima brought another reason why she should get Fadak back. She asked it to be given to her as a father's inheritance. Abu Bakr refused to do so, saying that he has heard the Prophet say that we, the group of prophets, do not inherit, nor are we inherited. What we leave is for others. No one else ever heard this hadith before. Hazrat Fatima argued that the Prophet could never have said such a thing, as it is totally against the Quran. She quoted the following verses of the Quran, which proves her point. The Sulaiman inherited Dawood. Nabi Zakaria praised to Allah, saying, therefore give me heir who shall inherit me and inherit the house of Yaqub. And those of you who are related by blood have rights over one another in the book of Allah. Allah orders you about your children. The male shall have an equal of 2. Bequest is prescribed for you when one of the near dies. If he leaves a wife, it is inherited by his parents and near relations. Abu Bakr still refused to return it to Hazrat Fatima, what was rightfully hers. According to the well-known Sunni scholar Ibn Juzzi, after some time, Abu Bakr decided to take Fadak to Hazrat Fatima and even wrote instruct to that effect. However, Umar bin Khattab tore away these instructions, saying to Abu Bakr, with what will you spend on the Muslims if the Arabs decided to fight with you? Hazrat Fatima therefore went home empty-handed. She never talked with Abu Bakr and Umar again till she died. It is interesting to note that although Fadak was taken away from her on the grounds that it belonged to the state, it came to be treated like it was a personal property of the rulers who pretended to be the successor of the Prophet. For example, during the relationship of Osman, the third Khalifa, he gave Fadak to Marwan, his son-in-law. During the times of Muawiyah, Fadak was jointly owned by Marwan, Umar bin Osman and Yazid bin Muawiyah, but when Marwan became the ruler, he owned it all alone. His son Abdul Aziz inherited it from him. When Abdul Aziz dies, Fadak passes it to his son Umar. When gave it to the grandchildren of Hazrat Fatima. The Umayyad king who came after Umar bin Abdul Aziz snatched it from Bani Fatima, and it remained with Bani Umayyah until when Bani Abbas came in power. The first Bani Abbas ruler, Safa, gave Fadak to Abdul bin Hassan, grandchildren of Imam Hassan. The second ruler, Mansur Damanaki, took it back. His son Mehdi gave it back to the descendants of Hazrat Fatima. Harun Rashid took
Harun
Rashid took it back, but his son Mamun returned it to the descendants of Hazrat Fatima. Mutawakil again took it back. The present Saudi rulers have totally destroyed Fadak, and it has been removed from the map. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala
Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
So first of all, when she went to court, she needed some witness to prove that that she was the truthful owner of this. So she brought Imam Ali, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein and Ayman to this matter. And then Abu Bakr said to try to deny this matter, to say to make it more his side, to say, he can't
have that witness because it's your family, they would lie for you.
First of all, when Bibi Fatima said Imam Ali, he said no, we can't have Imam Ali as a witness because he's your husband. Second, Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein, he said that he wouldn't have them because they were too young. And third was Ayman,
because she's a woman.
Because she's a woman as well. And this was really sad, wasn't it? Because she's a woman, and that was the most outlawful of all of them. And after this, she went even further, saying that Bibi Fatima took it even further, saying that she inherited it was inherited from her father, and then Abu Bakr coincidentally bring up this hadith that no one else heard except from him, that no one else heard, saying that prophets don't inherit and will not from her family inherit back. And then Bibi Fatima testified this back, saying her father wouldn't have said this because of what's said in the Quran, and she
gave quotes.
She gave quotes from the Quran, and another one saying about why did Bibi Ayman did not were allowed, and she gave a quote from the Quran about that, saying that the male is equal to the female as well. So he gave these quotes to her and goes to him, but he still at the end of that day, at the end of that court day, he still ruled it as the government, his own property. So this was really sad for Bibi Fatima. And after that, with the government, it been tossed around as it was theirs as well, where it was really Bibi Fatima's.
And Abu Bakr said that you can't inherit any of this stuff because that's what the Prophet said. But then his sons and his children got inherited it by him.
Yeah, and that's what he didn't follow what he was saying, and this made up coincidentally he gave this hadith which no one ever heard about. So that was a little bit suspicious, don't you think? Yeah, and hypocrite as well, saying that but not actually following it when it's inherited. And at the end of it, the government is now, the Saudi government now that's controlling the area, totally destroyed it and has been totally cleared from their map. and this is a really sad thing for Bibi Fatima and all of her progeny that should have inherited this area, this beautiful estate which she had. So this was really sad. And Hussein, Misbah has the next thing, which with Hazrat Fatima mourning her father. So could we start Misbah with the loud salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
The death of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a great loss for Hazrat Fatima alayhi salam. She found life without him to be very difficult for her. On top of that, her husband's and her own rights were taken away from them. She was insulted, her husband was ill-treated, she was severely injured by the government's orders. Her appeals to the Muslims to help were ignored. These were the things that she would mention when crying for her father. Fiza, her maid, says that on the 8th day after Prophet's death, Hazrat Fatima Salamullah went to the Prophet's grave and read along Marcia sad poems, parts of Marcia of reproduces below. For the people's intentions have changed and doors have been closed on my face, so I hate this word after you. My tears shall be shed for you. Father, we became after you as the oppressed, for the people ignored us after you. How pained I am for you until I soon join you. Imam Ali built a shelter for her in the graveyard of Baqi. She would take her sons Imam Hassan alayhi salam and Imam Hussein alayhi salam every morning and stay there mourning her father till evening. Then she became too weak to go anywhere. At the young age of 18, Hazrat Fatima became so weak that she needed a walking cane and somebody's support to move around in the house. Hazrat Fatima herself summarized the problems that faced her in the following words: if the problems that fell on me had fallen on the bright day, it would turn to a dark night. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
Thank you, Misbah. So now we know that how she was mourning for her father, and it was really a really sad time for her, and she was around about when her father died, around 18, when her father 18 or 17, and she died at the age of 18. So around 17 or 18 her father died, and this was really sad for her, and at a young age as well. So I'm 12 now, so around 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, so that is 6 years. So in 6 years time, if I lost my mum or dad, that would have a devastating impact on me, don't you think? So like study work and what I do in my life, it will become really hard, don't you think? Yeah. And at this young age, her father died, and this was really sad for her, and that's how she mourned. She mourned so much, and she became so weak that she had to have a walking cane.
A walking cane and somebody to support her.
So, and at the age of 18 as well. Don't you think that's too young to have walking cane? So this is how much she wept for her father. Thank you, Miss, for that. Hussein's got the next thing. Could we start Hussein off with the loud salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. Hazrat Fatima's last day on this earth. One day during the time when Hazrat Fatima was ill in bed, Imam Ali returned home and he found very busy cooking and cleaning her children, Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein. Imam Ali asked her as to why she was working so hard. Tears started flowing from her eyes. She told him that on the previous night she had seen her father in a dream. She told him about the troubles that she had to go through after his death and that she found life without him very difficult. Her father, the Prophet, consoled her and told her not to worry anymore because after one day she would be with him. By this dream, Hazrat Fatima knew that it was her last day, so she wanted to do all that she could for her beloved children before she was separated from them by death. This news made Imam Ali very sad. The Hazrat Fatima then made her final wishes known to him. Her first wish was that those who had oppressed her and her husband should not be allowed to attend her burial. To make this possible, she wished that she be buried in the darkness of night. Secondly, she recommended Imam Ali to marry Amina, the daughter of Zainab, as she would take good care of the children. Thirdly, she requested Imam Ali to be extra careful with Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein, as they would be very sad after their mother's death. With tears in his eyes, Imam Ali said goodbye to her and went to the mosque together with Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein. Hazrat Fatima was now left home alone with Asma bin Umayyah. Asma reports that when alone, Hazrat Fatima put on a new garment and perfumed herself. She then retired to the place where she used to pray daily. She asked Asma to leave her alone as she wished to carry out some special prayers in remembrance of Allah the Almighty. She requested Asma to come back to her after some time and check if she was still alive or not. Asma said, "I did as I was told." When left alone, Hazrat Fatima started addressing Allah and praying for the well-being of her followers. After some time there was a silence. I rushed to see what she was doing and saw that she was lying straight on her back. Her face was covered with a piece of cloth. Then when I removed the cloth from her face, I found her not breathing anymore. She had left this world to join her father. As per her wishes, Imam Ali buried her in the darkness of the night beside Imam Ali and his two sons. Very few others such as Umar, Salman, Miqdad and Abu Dhar attended her funeral. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala
Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjum.
Thank you, Hussein. So that was the last bit about how she died and a little bit about the burial, and Misbah's got the next thing about the burial. Okay, so this ties into when we were talking about the Prophet Muhammad and his last words with Bibi Fatima, and saying that you'll be the first one from Ahlul Bayt to follow him, meaning saying that she will be the first one to die after him from his Ahlul Bayt. So that was really sad, and this proves that he told her because out of he loved her so much, don't you think? Yeah. And now Misbah's got some more things about the burial. Could we start, Misbah, with the loud salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjum.
Fearing that those people who had not been able to attend Hazrat Fatma's funeral may do harm to her grave, Imam Ali alayhi salam made several graves so that her true grave remained a secret. There are 4 possible places where she could have been buried. First in her own house, second in the graveyard of Baqi, an area where imams are buried, third a place between the Prophet's grave and his minbar in the mosque of the Prophet, and fourth at the place of Baqi where Imam Ali alayhi salam had built a shelter for her so that she could weep for her father. Today, when the followers of Hazrat Fatima salam go to Medina, they'll show their respect to her by visiting all these places except at Baitul Hazan, which has been totally wiped out by the Wahhabis. As for the grave in the grave of Baqi, the Wahhabis destroyed Muslims in in 1926. So what?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
Thank you, Misbah. So that was about the burial, and that was the last thing that we were talking about on today's show. So thank you, Misbah, and that was about the burial. So no one knows where she's exactly buried. So there's 4 possible places. Okay. Now I'm gonna quickly do a quiz, and then we will finish the show. Okay. So how confident are you guys feeling?
10.
10%.
10%.
10%.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna get?
Yeah.
Okay. There's 3 sections. You know all the rules, so I won't go through them quickly. So I won't go through them because that'll take more time. So true or false section. Number 1, Bibi Fatima was 16 when she passed away. Hussein?
False.
Yeah, that's false. Number 2, Prophet Muhammad was the father of Bibi Fatima. Mohsin?
True.
Yeah, that is true. Number 3, Bibi Fatima was the mother of Imam Ali. Mohsin?
False.
Yeah, that is false. Number 4, Bibi Fatima was the mother of Imam Hassan. Misbah?
True.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, so what's the point so far? Mohsin, you got 2. Saying you've got 1. Misbah, you've got 1.
Okay.
Okay, multiple choice section. Number 1, Bibi Fatima passed away after how many days after the Prophet Muhammad passed away? A, 32 days. B, 75 to 90 days. C, 25 to 35 days. Misbah?
B. I mean A. I mean B actually.
Okay, I'll give you that. It's actually B. Yes, Misbah, you got it right. Okay, so Misbah, you've got 2 points. Say you've got 1 point. Mostly you've got 2 points. Okay, we'll go on to number 2. What was the name of the property Prophet Muhammad left Bibi Fatima to have?
That's
Mohsin,
disqualified.
You got disqualified for that now. Okay, so it's between you two. A, Fadak. B, Makkah. C, Baki. Hussein?
Can you repeat the question, please?
What was the name of the property Prophet Muhammad left behind Bibi Fatima to have? A, Fadak. B, Makkah. C, Baki.
A for duck.
Yes, that is right.
Fadak.
So, Mohsin, Misbah, you're on 2. Hussein, 2.
2.
And 2. Oh, it's 2 all. And let me tell you, this is the last question. So one of you are gonna win.
But that's
and
multiple choice, or
it's a short answer section, and we only have 1 question. So
only
it's
one
gonna
of
be
us can win now.
Yeah, only one of you can win, and it will be joint second place with the other 2.
I gotta get this. I gotta.
Okay, number 1 is short answer section question, and which is the last question. Where is Bibi Fatima buried? And you have to answer in one sentence. Oh, this is hard. Okay, I'll give it to Mohsin.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, where is Bibi Fatima buried?
We don't know because there's only 4 possible places where she is buried.
That is right, and I give you that point for that. We don't know where she is buried exactly, but we know there's 4 possible places for her burial. Okay, and that is the end of the quiz. And in joint second place we have Mohsin and Misbah and Hussein.
This is like this is the only time he's come second, I think.
Yeah, but that's right. Hussein's rule has been taken down by Mohsin. So in joint second place we have Misbah and Hussein, and in first place we have Mohsin. Thank you all for coming on today's show.
At least we answered all the questions.
Yeah, and you put your hand up for every single question. So that was right. So Mohsin is the winner of today's quiz, but remember, you're all winners. And thank you for coming on today's show. Did you learn anything on today's show?
Yeah.
A lot of things we learned on today's show. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us on today's show, and I hope you learned a lot, viewers. I hope you learned a lot about Bibi Fatima, her death, her burial, and what led up to her death. So thank you all for watching. We'll be here next week, same time, same place on Hidayat TV. But until then, good afternoon.
Good office.
Good office.